My husband texted someone this right after our fight. I don't know what to think. Okay, so this happened last night and I need some outside perspective because I'm struggle to make sense of this. Last night my husband, 27, and I, 23, had a fight about the dishes. It was a small fight in my opinion, but he made a huge deal out of it and went to sleep on the couch. He fell asleep while watching TV and I couldn't sleep because I was upset about the words he used in our fight, but in the morning he came into the bedroom while I was asleep and kissed my forehead saying he was sorry for last night and told me to get up because he prepared breakfast. Even though this was out of character of him, but I'm glad he at least recognizes his mistakes. I walked into the kitchen and sat at the table across from him. He had his phone next to his coffee mug. I casually asked to check something on it while my phone was charging in the bedroom and he gave it to me. I clicked on recently visited apps by accident and saw a chat app that was opened hours ago with a single message in it sent by my husband to God knows who saying, "Now I feel cold and alone." That is it, no previous nor further chats, this is it. I couldn't memorize the username nor take a screenshot since he was sitting across from me. I just gave him the phone back and asked what this was about and he paused for few seconds then said nothing. Just that he was venting to a close male friend. I asked which one and he said I don't know him, but how is he close if I don't know him? He said a friend from work, but it's strange he never mentioned him, and what stranger's sending him a message like that? Apparently me asking too many questions set him off. He got mad and said he couldn't believe my mind went too far and made a big deal out of it when GE was just venting to his friend about our fight. He then accused me of ruining the morning for him despite apologizing and trying to move past the fight we had. He collected his phone and coffee and keys and went to work and basically ignored me when I tried to call to talk about this. I don't know if I'm overreacting or whether I should let this go because this is definitely doesn't sit right with me. 2 red flags. 1. He paused before answering and specifically said, "A male friend. This seems pretty sus to me. Why emphasis on the gender of the person? Hey honey, I see a male friend at the tills. I'm going to pop over and say hi quickly. Odd, isn't it? No one does that." 2. He's deleted the previous chat logs. Who does this unless they've got something to hide? The fact that he deleted their previous messages together tells you everything. "Now I feel cold and alone" is the kind of thing I'd say to my male friends if I wanted them to give me endless amounts of crap. And it's the kind of thing the younger, immature version of me would say to a woman in order to get some empathy and attention. He paused for a second and then said it was a male friend and couldn't even name him. To me sound like he was lying. Asking too many questions set him off. Tears of joy. Yay, that feeling sucks, and I bet you he's often defensive and seems to be a rebel without a cause because he never listens to you even when you're right. Anyways, I think you should just bring it up because he didn't really give you closure. I prob would have acted like I didn't see it and explored the phone later that night. He's now going to be extra careful in hiding stuff from you. Girl, you already know he's playing stupid games. Let him win stupid prizes. He's escalating fights and sleeping on the sofa. Is this behavior relatively new? And no one gets mad about being asked which work friend they're texting unless they're lying and have something to hide. The text itself? No way was it sent to a male friend. Sounds shady to me. Previous messages deleted as well. TBH, if I texted most blokes I know, "Now I feel cold and alone," I'd get 15 different versions of, "Stop being a prick and get out the fridge then," back. Update. My 21F, mum, 54F, is jealous, obsessive and trying to take away my boyfriend, 26M. Original post. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who commented on the original post. I took all your advice on board and this is what happened. I had a long think for a couple of days about what I wanted to say to mum. My mum has narcissistic tendencies, so I knew I had to tread lightly. I still live with her in her house, although I do pay rent, it's still her house. She's kicked me out before and I have no doubt she would do it again. I asked my mum for a word in private, she came upstairs. At first I explained, I've had a chat with, boyfriend name, and we both feel like on Sunday you spoiled our anniversary. You made us both feel uncomfortable and I have decided from now on there will be no more asking for favors, no more lifts, no more dropping items to work etc. She was understanding at first and let me talk. She responded to my initial point by saying, I only asked so many times because I never got a definite no that he wasn't coming to help me. I reminded her that she knew it was our anniversary. They had agreed that morning he would help take her things to work late that evening and they would meet on Thursday to collect them. She said she had forgot, it was our anniversary. I told her that my text messages to her that said, boyfriend name, isn't leaving until late tonight, and, we are eating now, sorry, should have been enough of an answer. She then said, boyfriend name, was already driving you both to the restaurant to pick up your takeaway. I thought he could have done it then. I reminded her again that they had agreed another time, and that this was our anniversary plans and we weren't prepared to break up our day for her. I explained again how her messages made us feel unable to relax and enjoy our day. She said, I'm sorry if you felt that way. Typical narc response, but we move. I explained how I feel their relationship has become inappropriate and makes me feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable with the fact that they have their own separate world at their workspace, to which she replied that their friendship group only existed in the early days when everyone was moving in and getting to know each other. I took this as a fair point from her, as upon reflection, they don't talk often about the people they know from their work studio, and it was actually a more prevalent topic of conversation during the early stages of moving into their workspaces and not so much anymore. So that felt good to clear the air on that topic. I explained how I'm not comfortable with her asking for odd jobs from him anymore around the house, as these things have become not so few and far between, and that the said jobs are becoming more strenuous and not so quick and easy. I reminded her of the time I mentioned in my original post where she had the ladder out and made him put bricks up. This is where the victim playing, narcissism, guilt-tripping begins. Mum said, well, I see him as a healthy young man. I am old and have bad knees. I was so nervous and scared to be going up that ladder myself I had him do it for me. Don't you think that's fair? I could have hurt myself so high up. My body just can't take things like that. I empathized with her but also reminded her he is not a handyman, and that specific occasion made us late for our appointment. I realized I shouldn't have used the word appointment, as it was more of a scheduled plan that we had rather than an appointment as such, but my point still stood. My mum fixated on the fact I used the word appointment, and said, appointments are things like dentist, doctors, hairdressing, etc. I didn't make you miss anything. You have to make allowances for these things. I explained I may have used the wrong word there, but her interference in our day made us miss something we had planned together. This to me felt like her trying to twist the situation and focus on something totally irrelevant, and made me lose focus because I focused on the fact I'd said the wrong word. She started to become irate, her tone of voice changed. She was staring at me, her eyes went like there was nothing behind them. She began saying, I never ask for anything from anyone. I only ask him for help when I desperately need it. I didn't respond to this because I knew it would become an argument. I said okay. As you can probably tell from the original post, my mum takes and gives nothing back. She then says, and now I am getting pissed off with the demands you're putting on me, when this is my fucking house. I said I know this is your house but it still makes me uncomfortable with your closeness with him. She then said, you are putting a wedge between me and boyfriend name. This was an instant alarm bell in my head. He is my boyfriend? How am I the wedge? This baffled me but I didn't argue. I kept calm. It would only act as an ignition. I said I understand this is your house. But I need you to understand your relationship with my boyfriend makes me uncomfortable. She then began to get upset. She reminded me of a time where my boyfriend stayed round and I hadn't told my mum he was round. He came downstairs in the morning and my mum was still in her towel from after her shower. My boyfriend didn't react to her in the towel, just respectfully said good morning and carried on. This upset my mum, perhaps a bit too much in my opinion? And act slightly traumatized by it, and she began to say, how embarrassed do you think that made me feel? When you never told me he was here and he saw me in my towel. Do you not think that hurt me? I sighed and genuinely did start to feel guilty. The conversation ended there as I didn't respond. She stared at me and got up to leave my room. Mum started a new job the day after mine and my boyfriend's anniversary. As I was still upset about the text messages incident, I hadn't had a chance to ask her how her new job has been going as I'd been waiting for a chance to speak to her about this issue first. Last night was the only time we were at home together as I work early mornings and she works late nights. I wish I could have done it sooner but we only crossed paths at home for the first time last night. As she was getting up to leave the conversation she said, oh yeah, and my new job is great, thanks for asking, and slammed my door. Needless to say, it didn't go very well. I went to see my boyfriend after this incident and he told me everything I'd said was enough. He looked after me, agreed with it all and supported me. I'm only 21, he's 26 and honestly neither of us have the money to move out. We both have a small amount of savings but that's it. We both live in London and although I appreciate all the comments in the OG post telling us to move out, I don't think many people truly understand how hard it is to find housing in the UK, let alone London. It won't happen any time soon. We both work full-time, we both save, and it still doesn't cut it. So please no more comments telling us to just move out. We can't. I really, really wish we could, but it isn't feasible at the moment. I just don't know what to do now. Too long did not read. I spoke to my mum about how I feel she's too close with my boyfriend. I feel like she guilt-tripped me and made herself the victim. I feel really uneasy and unsettled and don't know how to combat this further. I think you need to start seriously considering what you do and where you go if your mother decides to evict you. The answer can't be, I don't know. Figure it out, because the next time she kicks you out needs to be the last time she kicks you out. As long as she has this power over you, you'll never be able to effectively set boundaries with her. You need the leverage of being able to walk away from the relationship completely in order to be taken seriously. Goal should be to move out of your mum's house and go low contact. She sounds so overbearing and entitled. Do you have a friend you can stay with? It would be better to pay rent for a couch than staying with that harpy. Your post was painful to read. Textbook narcissistic behavior. As long as you engage in arguments over specific incidents, you will not get anywhere. She has a lot more experience in handling these kinds of arguments. She's been doing it more than twice as long as you have, and as long as you decide to play her game, she will beat you every time. Shit. In the end you even felt bad for your behavior. That's exactly how they work. Kill all your specific examples with specific excuses and then turn it around to make you the bad guy. Everyone here is saying it and you know it. You need to figure out how to move out. As long as you are depending on your mother, you will not be able to get her to respect your boundaries. Welcome to adulthood. You need to figure out a safe living space, and now. The fact that it's London, which is already an overheated market, is irrelevant. Get your escape strategy in place now, and leave. Crazy idea, but maybe your boyfriend could stop spending money on a rented office space for himself so you guys can afford to rent an apartment. You don't have friends looking to move out? You can't find a multi-bedroom property and get roommates with BF? Honestly, you don't want to hear it, but if you continue living under your mother's roof, this behavior will be par for the course. You need to make a plan. You can't stay there forever. You are never ever going to win, or convince her that she's wrong, or persuade her to stop. You've got a narc mum. You know how it goes better than I do. The only thing you can do is quarantine her so that you can control what she does and when she does it to you. The only way you can do that is not to live with her. Work on that as soon as possible. This problem will never go away when you can't shut her outside your own front door. Another girl sends pictures of her butt to my boyfriend all the time. My boyfriend, 22M, is friends with a girl in his program, and they Snapchat every single day, several times a day. It does make me jealous sometimes, but I try to not let it bother me too much. But recently I found out she sends him pictures and videos of her butt saying, "How does my outfit look?" or things along those lines, but it's always from an angle that is looking right at her butt. She is fully clothed as far as I can tell in them, but it's always of her butt. I asked him to tell her to not send him those things if he really has her friend-zoned and has zero interest, since it makes me uncomfortable that she sends those things. But he says because she is showing her outfits and that she is just a friend that I have no right to be upset and that I am being a shitty girlfriend. I have a feeling she will send progressively worse and worse pictures until she is sending full-on nudes, and it's not that I don't trust him. I just don't like that she sends him pictures like that, and I personally find it inappropriate, crossing a line considering she is fully aware that he has a girlfriend. I tried to stand my ground and say that if something makes me feel uncomfortable he should try to change it, but he says I'm just unreasonable, and he got really angry at me for wanting her to not send those. Too long did not read. This girl sends my boyfriends pictures of her ass, and I asked him to tell her not to because I don't like it, and he told me I'm a shitty girlfriend because she's just a friend and it's not a problem. Edit. I should also mention that he literally gets jealous, not angry, but just jealous, when I wear leggings to school because other men will look at my butt. Weird she wouldn't be asking her girlfriends about her outfits. I think she's crossing a line, but so is your boyfriend by not telling her to stop sending those types of pics. It's not that I don't trust him. You shouldn't trust him. He's lying, and he has such little respect for you or your intelligence that he's not even making a remotely good effort to even give you a lie that wasn't insultingly stupid. Unless he is a proctologist, he has zero excuse to be looking at a woman's ass in that much detail. She knows what she's doing, he knows what she's doing, and you know what he's doing, but he thinks you're a moron and telling you that's not what's going on. He's the one being unreasonable. If some girl was sending me booty pics, my girlfriend would probably leave me, and if not, after telling her that she was being a shitty girlfriend and that I wasn't gonna stop accepting the pics, my girlfriend would for sure be gone. The fact that he doesn't even hear you or make an effort to cut it off is a bad sign. I don't trust him or her. We all know what's going on here. Follow your gut. I say wear your damn leggings and cut him loose. They can be happy together. Don't listen to the fucking horndogs in the comments. As a woman, this is unacceptable. If it makes you uncomfortable, which it sure would for me. Especially when there's a double standard and he doesn't want guys looking at your butt. I would ask the girl my damn self to leave him the fuck alone. If your boyfriend wants to look at another girl's butt all sneaky, do you really want this relationship? Yeah, so basically what's happening is your boyfriend is playing you for a fool. He knows exactly what he's doing, the little shit. He likes that you get jealous for starters, and more importantly he loves that this girl is clearly into him. That's it, it's a young guy's fantasy, have a girlfriend and another girl who wants him too. I'd give him an ultimatum, stop the shit or leave. And then leave his ass. Unacceptable. Your boyfriend has crossed the line. Your boyfriend has every power to stop this woman from sending butt pic. I don't think this is a friendly behavior. You are letting this man trespass your bottom line, making it lower and lower. Did you see how he responded to those pics? Did he praise or give thumb up or what? This woman only keeps sending because it's either her boyfriend encouraging her to do so, leading her on, or that she is sexually or romantically interested. She is clearly making advances, which is very much related to your boyfriend giving green light to it. I would say break up with him and also give him an ultimatum. It's not that I don't trust him. That's a major mistake here. GF, 20F. Just confessed something to me, 21M. And I don't know how to react. Recently my partner and I patched up again after a rough period. Recently she confessed to me that she's doubting her sexuality and that she may be bisexual. Yes, I understand and respect that, but she also added that she came to question her sexuality after she came across a woman's profile in Instagram and she got instantly attracted and aroused to her. She also added that she texted that woman about how sexy and hot she is and how much she is attracted to her. She also mentioned that after that incident she got into lesbian porn. At the start of the relationship she was the one who stated that watching porn is equal to cheating, and I agreed with her. I don't know what to do now that she threw this bomb on me, and it's making me crazy. She literally broke all the pacts we made in this relationship and now is blaming me that I am not supporting her. As a bi person, this is cheating. This isn't about her being bi or exploring her sexuality, it's about her cheating on you by flirting with another woman online and then breaking a rule she made about watching porn. The cheating alone should be a deal-breaker. Like, if the first thing she does when she sees a hot person is message them to call them sexy, breaking your trust in her, what's the point? Also, the fact that she's blaming you, saying you are being unsupportive, is bullshit. She cheated, plain and simple. Who cares if it was with a man or a woman? She's cheating and using her sexuality to blame you. I could personally deal with all of that if she apologized, but she is deflecting all responsibility and blaming you. She needs to be single to explore whatever she's going through. Dump her. Before things get really ugly for you, it's time to run. Things will not get better, just worse. Save yourself heartbroken and leave her. Run. Dude, this woman, girl, child really, has dragged you through the hoops of hell for years, if your other posts are true. You've even considered suicide because of her. Get out while you can, and address your depression. And forget about her game-playing ass. You can realize that you are bi and not putting your current relationship in jeopardy. She can come to that conclusion and not act on it ever because she is happy with you. The porn thing can be because she felt those things and wanted to check what it was like. The questions are, what does she wants to do? If she wants to explore, you'll have to let her go. If she wants to stay, then she can not act on it ever. Also, you could both dip in the threesome world. What do you want to do? You did not really sign for this, there is nothing you can really do, and do you wish to have that in your life? Good luck, this is as heavy as it gets. It's always funny when someone uses being bisexual as a way to gaslight their partner into allowing them to act badly in the relationship. Here's what you do. Tell her that you came to a realization about your sexuality. Tell her that you thought you were only attracted to women with, insert her hair color here. But you realized that in fact you're interested in women with some other hair color. Tell her that you want her to support you in your efforts to explore this new sexuality. Then after she tells you, that's different, dump her cheating ass. Recently my partner and I patched up again after a rough period. Stop it. You're 21. There's no such thing as a break or patching things up after a rough period. You broke up, now stay broken up. It's hard, but put on your big kid pants and move forward.